2025 has been the year for behavior to slow down content and focus on changes and improvements to the base game. That's been the main goal of the Quality of Life initiative. And I gotta say, I've liked a lot of the changes that have been implemented. Some were clear misses for the community, like the tunneling and slugging changes, but we can auto-spend blood points, we have more perk presets, an improved search bar, gamma settings, a new quest system, which I guess is controversial, and a lot more. Today, though, I'd love to talk to you guys about some of my ideas that would improve my DBD quality of life, and I'll also be going over some of my Discord community's ideas. Before we start, I want to shout out my second channel that I run with my twin, where we make DBD animatics. We've got a whole story set in the world of Dead by Daylight, and there's a lot of cool stuff planned, so be sure to check out our latest animation, which explores the fan-made White Eyes theory. Alright, let's get started. Choosing a lobby screen. There have been so many cool lobbies that are only around for like a few weeks at most before they're gone forever. I'd love to be able to choose my lobby from a specific chapter or event just to be able to customize my experience a bit more. The prop system. So, you might not know this because it doesn't do anything, but you're able to give props to someone after a game. To my knowledge, this literally doesn't do anything. It's just a button to press. So I'd love to be able to see how many props I've been given, or there being a reward to give someone props or to get props. Just like, I don't know, just something. I'd love that. All events in custom games. Please bring previous events and modifiers into custom games. Being able to see the different variations of the Halloween events, the My Little Oni modifier, Lights Out, it would make custom games more custom. And for me personally, the bonus would be I'd be able to record more DBD sketches to turn into shorts. Pre-game chat you can choose to opt in to as killer and survivor. I remember when I used to have a really tough killer challenge that I couldn't get naturally, I would lobby dodge until I found a live TTV, so I would go into their chat and ask for help. If there was a chat that you could opt into so you could say good luck to the survivors or something, that'd be great. It shouldn't be open by default in case the survivor team seems mean, but I'd love to be able to say good luck or let's all bring blood point offerings or something like that. Maybe it's too optimistic to think that a chat like that wouldn't be a breeding pool for toxicity, but what can I say? I love this game and the people that play it. Being able to see my teammates' perks. While in game, I think that survivors should be able to see the perks that their teammates have. This will just help solo queue a lot and it'll allow for better communication. The Shrine of Secrets having 8 perks instead of 4. This doesn't need much of an explanation. More perk options in the shrine would just be a nice boost. And there should be an increased chance for the perks to come from licensed characters rather than original characters. P100 reward. Please give people a reward for reaching P100. A charm, a badge, a banner, a blood point reward, something. It literally only shows up at end screen because now you can't even see prestigious in the early game lobby. Besides showing dedication to a character, I'd love a tangible reward for maxing them out. More information in the HUD. The HUD currently shows a bunch of actions that a survivor can do, but I think it's definitely not the full picture. 2 things that I'd love to see is the anti-camp meter and the wiggle meter. That would be awesome. Then, like, if one of my teammates is about to wiggle off, I'd be able to see and I could take a hit. And it's not like this would significantly buff 4-man swifts because that's information that they already have. So again, this would just be a nice boost to solo queue. Okay, this is very specific. Seeing the hatch's aura while carrying the final survivor. It's niche, it might not make sense, but while being a killer and holding the last survivor in your arms after everyone else is dead, I want to see the aura of the hatch. I like letting the last survivor go, and wandering around the map for 5 minutes is kind of boring. I'm not saying killers should see the hatch when there's just one survivor left. It is exclusively when holding the final survivor in your arms, you can see the aura of the hatch, then you can bring them to it, and that'd be, I think this would be such a small change, but it'd be really nice. That's all the ideas I have, so if there are any behavior developers watching, you should totally bring all this into the game. It would make me personally very happy. Now let's move on to some ideas that were pitched by my wonderful Discord community, which you should join. Names for cosmetic presets. Currently we're able to name perk presets, but the pitch here is the same option for cosmetic presets. I agree with this idea. No notes. Seeing which hex totem is which. This is self-explanatory. I don't think this would be too much of a buff for hex perks, though it may lead to an increase of the unfun playstyle of a killer protecting their hex perk with every fiber of their being. Scream volume sliders. Some screams are really high-pitched, some are louder than others, so this would just be a way to mess with how loud they are. I always have the game at 5% volume, but I would absolutely love this change because I get overstimulated easily. Graphical overhaul of Swamp. This is also self-explanatory. Swamp is not aesthetically pleasing in the slightest, and it is a pretty outdated map. Shared inventory between survivors. Since all survivors are basically reskins of each other, having shared inventory wouldn't be an insanely powerful buff, but I do think it would likely increase the amount of strong items that you could have, which could potentially increase the amount of meta items we see. But maybe a good compromise here is a pool of offerings rather than items. That way I can always have blood point offerings when trying new survivors. Being able to change aura colors. I saw this as well as pitching better colorblind settings overall. I can't see any downsides to this. It would just make the game more accessible, as right now auras can be hard to see on certain maps. Killers with undetectable should have no breathing or footstep sounds. So I see this in two ways. One, killer would for sure be more scary if there was literally no indication that they were approaching. But two, this is a video game, and some information should be made available to your opponent for the sake of fairness. Compromise. The undetectable status effect muffles your noises, but you're not completely silent. Toggleable chaos shuffle. I would love to be able to press a button in order to randomize my perks. That would be amazing. Please add this. Audio equalizer. This would be a similar adjustment to the volume sliders for screams, but just being able to make sure that everything is of a similar volume would be a great accessibility change. Fixing old tome challenges. There are a few tome challenges from older tomes that I've never been able to finish because they just straight up didn't work. Going back and adjusting them and making them possible in modern DBD would be nice for the completionist players of the game. A blindness filter. I know of a few of my community members who always have to run Lightborn because the blinding effect, when you're blinded with a flashlight, is too much of a strain on their eyes. If players had the option to change the color or the effect of blindness, that would be, again, just a nice accessibility change. There were way more ideas, but honestly that might be best for a part 2 so this video doesn't get too packed. So if y'all have some quality of life ideas, go ahead and share them in the comments or join my Discord and tell me about them there. I don't have a moral or anything to leave y'all with. I honestly just wanted to talk about DBD stuff. I've been seeing people complain about Krasu, palettes, the new Rift, probably a million other things. There's always stuff to complain about in this game and the world. I've been a bit too busy with college and life to sort out my thoughts on DBD current events, so I made this video instead. Quick shout out to my wonderful Ko-Fi people for funding these videos. Special shout out Hammock and Rat. Well, I'm looking at my script and it just stops right here. I guess we're improving. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to share your thoughts and stuff. And I will see you lovely people next weekend.